If the course is Statistical Process Control, we better figure out what that means. So first we need to talk about what is a process. Basically, a process is the way that you take some set of inputs and do some sort of transformation on them to produce some sort of outputs. And the bottom line is everything you do is a process. So writing code is a process. Designing a circuit board is a process. Using Git for configuration management is a process. Brushing your teeth is a process. Doing the dishes is a process. Everything is a process. One strategy for defining a process is called SIPOC, and that stands for suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, customer. So here I've given an example of the process of brushing my teeth. I have some suppliers, Crest, Oral-B, and my water well. And the inputs to this process are my dirty teeth, the water that I get from the water well, the toothpaste that I get from Crest, and the toothbrush that I get from Oral-B. And then I do a sequence of things to modify those inputs, to transform them in some way. And the result is an output that is my clean teeth, and the customer of that is me. The two other bigger arrows in this diagram are the voice of the customer and the voice of the process. The voice of the customer is really our requirements. That's what we're trying to do. The voice of our process is the reliable data that we've gathered from a well-documented procedure. So what this means is that we're going to measure how the process is doing and what it is producing and compare that to the requirements that the customer has given us, and that's going to give us a rigorous analytical way to improve the process. So now that we know what a process is, what do we mean by process control? Well, we're going to measure the process, and then we're going to look at its variation over time. And we're going to work to try to reduce that variation. And that's how we're improving the process. Once we understand the variation of the process, then we can answer the question of capability. Can we do it correctly? Is the variability within the range that allows us to meet our customers' requirements? And then, are we doing it correctly? Is a question of control. If we continue to be within the bounds of that variation, then we are doing it correctly. So when we're making decisions about how to improve the process, we want those to be based on data about the process. This isn't about how you feel, it's about what you can measure and how you can improve it. But the challenge in this is that all processes have some variability. The numbers are not going to be the same all of the time. So in order to manage that variability, we need some statistical tools to measure our process. So statistical process control is always focused on improving the process. And it fits within a couple of different frameworks for how to improve the process. The first comes from the Six Sigma community, and it's called DMAIC. And that stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, Control. And we'll talk about each one of those steps. The other framework is Business Process Redesign, and that's looking at the roles that people play within your organization and how they align with the processes in your organization. So making things better may be changing the process, or it may be changing the roles that people play.